Hello, my excited friends, Virus here, and we are just mere days away from a brand new Pokemon Presents. And this one I'm pretty excited for. Why? Because this is the first Pokemon Presents since the release of the Switch 2, meaning we should expect to see some exciting new games now that they're able to reveal them. So I have a list right here, you know how this works, we're just going to go down the list and hope that some of these predictions happen. These are in no particular order, just stuff I want to see. And first up on the list is, we're just going to get this out of the way right now because we know what's going to happen, the boring stuff. All of the mobile game updates. More power to you if you love the mobile games. If you're just that excited to see more Pokemon Go news, I don't really care. I love some of the mobile games, I do play Pokemon Go on occasions, but I'm not itching for new Pokemon Go news. And it's not just Pokemon Go, we're gonna see Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon Unite probably, Pokemon Cafe Remix, most likely. They might decide, hey, we don't have enough mobile games on the market, let's put out a new one. But as unfortunate as this is to say, it's probably gonna be the bulk of the entire presentation, just mobile game updates, and then maybe something big at the end, like a new trailer for Legends EA. Maybe that's down the list, who knows? But yeah, mobile game updates, we know it's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be all we see for the most part, because unfortunately that's what the bulk of these presentations are, once again. So that's number one. Speaking of mobile games, there is one mobile game I actually am very excited to see an announcement for, and that is Pokemon TCG Pocket. I expect to see a brand new set revealed because around the time of this presentation is usually when they reveal a new set. So I expect to see some TCG Pocket news, so that's number two. Next up on the list is Pokemon Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness on Nintendo Switch Online. GameCube isn't on Switch, but it is on Switch 2. And they did show off, when they showed off GameCube Classics on the Switch 2, they did show that XD Gale of Darkness and Colosseum were both coming. So I think this is the perfect time to reveal a release date, and I really hope to see them in this Pokemon Presents. They don't have to be an HD remaster or something like that, I just want to see them put on NSO. Next up on the list is an original Mystery Dungeon game for Switch 2. We didn't get an original Mystery Dungeon on Switch, and it's been 5 years, almost 5.5, since the last Mystery Dungeon game, which is a remake. So I believe it is prime time for an original Mystery Dungeon. We're well overdue for one. Like I said, the Switch one didn't have an original Mystery Dungeon, and I feel like it could fill the gap for maybe a little bit into next year, maybe something to keep us busy while we wait for ZA. I'm not sure if they would release it this year because they keep wanting to push ZA. They want ZA to be the big game that you buy this year. So if they did announce a new Mystery Dungeon or just any new Pokemon game in general, I feel like it would be slated for next year, early next year, the very earliest, perhaps like February or March. But a new Mystery Dungeon for Switch 2 would be really cool to see. Next up on the list is a new trailer and release date for Pokemon Champions. We have not seen anything on Pokemon Champions since Pokemon Day this year, and I think it is prime time to give us a new trailer. What will the game be like? How will the battle mechanics work? How will we play it? When will it come out? I would love to see all those questions answered with a new trailer. Next up on the list is a new Pokepark game or an HD remaster of Pokepark Wii. Now this is usually a finisher for me because I like to leave the ones that I'm most excited for for the very end, but there are some in here that I'm very excited for, so I just kind of left this one in the middle because I've been asking for this for I believe a couple years now. But I would love to see a sequel to Pokepark or an HD remaster of Pokepark Wii because that was such a fun game. And we have new Joy-Cons for the Switch too. They could take the Wii motion controls and implement them into the Joy-Cons. We've seen it done with, I believe, Mario Galaxy on the 3D All-Stars collection. And we also saw it in Skyward Sword HD, along with, button prompts as well, and stick-only gameplay. So I feel like they could pull it off for Switch 2 with Pokepark. I think it'd be a very, very cool game to bring to the Switch. Next up on the list is kind of an extension of something I already mentioned. I want to see a Pokemon XD sequel, or a successor. We had Battle Revolution on the Wii. That was great. I would like to see a new Battle Revolution. It probably won't happen. This was going to be a Battle Revolution 2 prediction, but I do want to do a full video on what that could look like. So that will come probably next week or the week after. But I would really like to see a sequel to XD, a straight sequel. It doesn't have to be an Ore. It could be in a whole new region if it wants to. But I would really like to see this concept of stealing Shadow Pokemon back from the bad guys and using them to defeat the bad guys. And Pokemon Go is proof that they haven't given up on the Shadow Pokemon thing because they're in Pokemon Go. And like Shadow Pokemon in XD and Colosseum, you can purify them. It's a concept that they have not abandoned, and I would love to see that come back in some capacity in like a game like this. So yeah, a Pokemon XD sequel would be awesome. It's not gonna happen, but it would be super, super cool. Next up on the list is a Pokemon TCG announcement. I know I already stated what I thought about Pokemon TCG Pocket, but the physical card game makes them a ton of money. It's probably one of their biggest money makers, almost as much as the games, I'm pretty sure. So I would not be surprised in the slightest if we got a teaser for, I believe, the new Mega Evolution set that's coming out soon. I can totally see them doing that. But yeah, just anything TCG. Next up on the list won't happen, but a guy can dream. Classic Pokemon games on Switch Online. Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Yellow, Gold, Silver, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf, Green. They all could just come to the online service. And they wouldn't be missing out with the limited Switch 2 audience right now because the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance services are on Switch 1. And they kind of did something like this at the end of the 3DS's life where they put legacy games on the 3DS. You just had to pay for them separately. So I think it is prime time to give us classic Pokemon on the Switch and Switch 2. Just please Pokemon, please just let me play Pokemon Ruby. Please just let me play Pokemon Ruby on my Switch 2, please. And thank you. Next up on the list is something completely new. I'm talking a full new IP, something to wow us. Maybe they'll give us Pokemon Battle Royale. Maybe they'll give us a tactical RPG Pokemon. Maybe they'll give us Typing with Pikachu 2, whatever that Japan exclusive game was. Just something completely new, completely original, something to wow us, and something we're not expecting. Now, these last three are probably the ones that like I would really like to happen. They're not going to. They're kind of like the big three. We'll call them the big three. The big three announcements I'd like to see. First one being a brand new trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA. It's most likely going to happen. We could probably get like a story trailer, like why we're there, what we have to do, and all wrapped up with the new release date that they revealed recently. I kind of think back to the Legends Arceus trailer where they showed like an image of like what was like an animation of like what goes on in the box art, freeze frame, it turns into the box art, shows the title and then release date. I'm kind of feeling like that could be something that they do for like the trailer that they show off for ZA. I think it's pretty inevitable that we're gonna get a Pokemon Legends ZA trailer in this presentation, and it might be one of the final trailers we get. Heck, they might even show off brand new Mega Evolutions for the new starters. I feel like that's a pretty big possibility. And maybe they'll show off a bunch of new Mega Evolutions. Like I heard there was a Mega Dragonite or something, or like a Mega Victory Bell leaked. Victory Bell. I always want to say Victory Bell, but it's Victory Bell. There were a bunch of new Megas leaked, so they could show off some of those if those were real. But yeah, a new trailer for Legends EA. Next up on the list won't happen. I am fully prepared for this not to happen. Pokemon Generation 10, the next mainline Pokemon games. They're not going to happen, much like Black and White remakes aren't going to happen this presentation. So stop asking for it. I know everyone's going to make clickbaity videos now before this presentation saying, hey, I bet there could be Black and White remakes. Here's this fake leak that I made so that it's real. See, like this is a real leaker and we're going to get Black and White remakes. Trust me. But then we don't get Black and White remakes because we get those during anniversaries. Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, 30th anniversary. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, 25th anniversary, 20th anniversary, Heart Gold Soul Silver. We're not going to get Black and White remakes this time around. Just like we're not going to get Pokemon Gen 10 in this presentation, but I do feel like it is around the corner. Also, I apologize for my Black and White remake rant, like just now. It's just that I know people want it. I want them too. They're not going to do them anytime soon. We're going to be waiting a few years still because they like to do remakes for anniversaries. And I'm kind of getting tired of the fake leaks of the Black and White remakes coming because they're not. We're still going to be waiting a few years. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. But yeah, Pokemon Gen 10, it might not happen, but you know what? Pokemon has surprised us in the past. But I know for a fact Black and White remakes aren't happening because they like to do remakes for anniversaries. I've said my piece. Moving on. Next up on the list is our final prediction of the day, and it is not going to happen, but again, it could surprise us. Pokemon Let's Go Johto. Gen 2 renditions of Pokemon Let's Go. And let me explain why I think this is possible. I already made a video on it. I will tag it at the end of this. I think that it's possible that we could be getting Let's Go Johto because of the starter lineup for Legends ZA. They gave us 2 Johto starters and 1 Unova starter. Why did they choose 2 of the 3 starters to be the same generation? Well, maybe it's because they want them to be more easily accessible to players. And now you're going to say, Virus, they are accessible. You can get them in Blueberry Academy. Blueberry Academy, DLC. Some people might not want to pay for DLC, especially since it's $35. So Chikorita and Totodile aren't necessarily as accessible as Cyndaquil, who is a starter in Legends EA, a game that doesn't have any paid DLC and is not locked behind an additional paywall. So with that, they want to make all 3 Gen 2 starters accessible so you can transfer possibly some of them into Let's Go Johto. It's a new system. Switch 2 is here now. It's entirely possible that we get Let's Go Johto on Switch 2. Not everybody liked the Let's Go formula, but I thought it was pretty interesting. It had a fun twist, and I quite enjoyed Let's Go Pikachu. And there are new Joy-Cons on the Switch too, so the same controls can apply to Let's Go Johto if it happens. And I would really like to see it. Even if it's not announced in this presentation, I would really like to see like a Johto version of Let's Go. I think that'd be very fun. And that was every prediction I had. Will some of these happen? Hopefully. Some of them are a little bit more likely than others, of course. But they are my predictions, and I'm sticking to them. But what do you want to see at this upcoming Pokemon Presents? Let me know down in the comments. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new and hit that bell so you never miss any virus content. And be sure to stay tuned for my reaction that I will probably post on Wednesday. It's going to go up on a Tuesday. The presentation's going on a Tuesday. I believe I will post my reaction on the next day because it's an upload day. And probably on Tuesday I will be posting like highlighted reactions on my reaction channel, so if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend checking that out as well. And just thank you all for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Virus out.